here to there, we take a look at how the women's Wolves fared at the OCAA Final Four. We'll talk program cuts around Algonquin College. Then, Matt Collins takes a closer look and talks to students on how they voted. Finally, Braden Sagan brings us unpopular opinions, so stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Braden Sagan.
And I'm Matt Collins.
And you're watching From Here to There.
Earlier this month, the women's basketball team closed out their season. The Wolves hosted the Final Four Provincials tournament, welcoming Humber, Fanshawe, and Mohawk colleges to compete for gold at a spot at the Nationals. Day one of the tournament saw Algonquin face off against Humber College. The Humber Hawks broke the Wolves' long-running streak with a devastating 43-57 loss. The Wolves came back stronger the following Saturday, though, beating the Fanshawe Falcons 68-50, securing bronze at this year's provincial championships. Piper Hathrall scored 4 points and grabbed an amazing 16 rebounds. All-Canadian Defensive Player of the Year, Deja McDonald, had an incredible game, scoring 23 points and 5 rebounds, giving both girls the title of Player of the Game for one last time. The Wolves fans displayed love and support all weekend long by cheering on the girls all the way to the end.
Wow, Matt, it sounds like a pretty exciting weekend.
Definitely.
As many of you have heard, Algonquin's College is closing its Perth campus and has suspended 37 of its programs, including broadcasting, radio and podcasting, script writing, and performing arts. The decision was approved on February 24th by the Board of Governors, with the college stating it was to ensure alignment with learner demand, industry relevance, financial sustainability, and resource optimization. A portion of the student body, however, believes that these cutbacks come from the government regulations and on international students and the college's financial situation. If you're a current student worried about your program being suspended, don't fret. The college has stated that currently enrolled students and students admitted for spring 2025 are able to finish out their programs. However, no new students will be admitted. Check Algonquin's Operational Updates FAQs to find out more.
On a less depressing note, if you're looking for something to do around campus this week, the Students Association has got you covered. Head down to the Commons Theater Tuesday night for a screening of I Saw the TV Glow. Tickets are free for all Algonquin students. Doors open at 7 p.m. Then Thursday at 7:30, in Commons Theater is hosting C4 Wrestling. It's an all-women's event called A League of Their Own in honor of Women's History Month. Don't miss this unforgettable night. Tickets start at $10.
This Friday at the Dome, come check out the Hala Festival, a colorful paint-throwing party that celebrates the arrival of spring, featuring DJ Sutra and other live performances. The celebration starts at 1 and is free for all staff and students and alumni. Finally, have some laughs at the Commons Theater Friday night at 7:30 with one of India's topmost stand-up comedians, Raul Dua, in his newest stand-up comedy, Padai Likai. Hope I said that right. Tickets are starting at $20 and are open to all. Get yours before they sell out. Well, I'm Braden Sagan.
And I'm Matt Collins.
And we'll be right back after this short break.
This is the news show telling you, oh, start somewhere. I've been talking to Matt about Canada and the United States, but he's gone to get a coffee. Let's see how he's doing. Thank you.
I just want a cup of coffee. It's so hard to get a cup of coffee around here. Anyways, man, all morning I've been thinking about what's going on in the States with regards to Donald Trump, tariffs, annexing Canada, which then started thinking more about voting and the recent provincial vote and how I really made an effort to vote this time. Did you know that just under half of all Ontarians voted in the recent election? It's unbelievable. I wonder how many people in Algonquin ended up voting. Let's take a little closer look and see what people actually did.
The current political landscape in Canada and a lot of the stuff that's been happening with the U.S. has influenced my vote.
Well, I'm so worried about that, especially with what is happening between the United States and Canada.
Because I know the United States wants to make Canada like the 51 state or something. No, I actually don't care for now. I'm just here to study, so.
I think it would have a big impact on Canadian lives because we do have free healthcare here, so that definitely become a factor into being a 51st state for sure.
Tariffs were brought in, prices will raise, everything will get more expensive.
And I had no knowledge of all the parties, so I don't think it was really fair for me to vote when I had no jurisdiction of who did what, who knows what. And
you could say laziness or I don't have the knowledge in politics as much to vote, so.
I wanted to see change. I'm not too happy with the current government, so I wanted to use my right as a citizen to vote to change that.
I definitely think the vote matters. I think it's more on my part that I didn't do my research. If I had done so, I most likely would have voted.
It's a bit scary down there, and I know U.S. politics affects our politics as well.
I did vote in the election. Well, I feel like everyone who's of age should be voting in the election. I think provincial politics impact our lives a lot more than federal ones, so it's especially important that everybody gets out to vote.
What influenced my vote? Because I wanted change. Actually, it was my first provincial election that I ever voted for, so yeah, I just wanted change. I wanted something different.
I don't know if anything in particular influenced it. I think it's important that we all do our part. I don't think there's enough people voting, and that's where the real change comes. I chose the candidate I chose because it was to help out my mom in the profession she's in. One of the candidates was going to be more likely to help her out than the other, so that's what primarily influenced my vote.
Wow, when I first stepped out of the studio to see what the students at Algonquin College thought about the last election, I didn't know what to think. In fact, I'm a little surprised that some people didn't vote, but the people that did vote, I thought, made educated decisions. And in retrospect, I think the future of voting in Ontario is definitely bright. Well, back to the studio. I'm Matt Collins.
For going out there and seeing what students really think about the election. If you didn't know, Ontario had a provincial election on February 27th. If you're surprised, you aren't the only one, because this was a snap election called by the Conservatives. So instead of voting in June 2026, everyone was sent to vote a couple weeks ago. So why did they call an election in the freezing winter? The Conservatives have been planning to call an early election for months. If they had waited for June, Ford's chances of winning may be hurt by the Greenbelt scandal or any potential change in the Conservatives' reputation. But after Trump threatened tariff against Canada in November, Ford took a strong Canada First stance. He then centered his campaign around standing up to the U.S. government and the tariffs threat. This led to Ford being reelected for a third consecutive term with a majority Conservative government, winning 80 out of 124 seats. We will see how the upcoming federal election goes and any developments on the trade war in the months to come. Next week, we'll give you updates. Now stay tuned after these ads. Who's on? Big Russ? Here you go, Big B.
Big B. Welcome back to From Here to There. I'm Braden Seguin, here with our final segment of the day, Unpopular Opinions, where we showcase student perspectives on their college experiences. I have here with me today Aaron Rama and Russell Silverson. Now, boys, I'm both going to ask you the same question, and I want you both to answer with your honest, unfiltered opinion. Okay?
Let's do it. Yep.
I got my cue cards here with all our questions, and just hop right into it. Now, do you think the CAF is overpriced?
I mean, I think everything's a little overpriced right now. You know, we got the inflation stuff. I actually don't find a lot of the prices too bad. I think it depends what you're buying. Like, I think the chicken Caesar wraps are, like, kind of expensive. But, I mean, like, if you go to, like, Chef's Choice, you can get, like, chicken, rice, and vegetables for, like, $12. And I think that's pretty good. And it's really healthy, and it's really good for you. So I think that's worth $12. But I think it just depends what you're buying in general.
Aaron?
Yeah, I'd agree with Russell on this one. I mean, it really does depend on where you're buying. I feel like more of the stuff where you have to go to the counter to order it is less price, but the stuff that's in the freezers, like the sandwiches, the sushi, stuff like that, is a little bit overpriced for sure.
Moving on. Do you think it's okay to skip classes if you read the slides afterwards?
I mean, I think everyone's got a busy schedule. I mean, I think most professors are pretty chill. I think if you email them or tell them in advance that you're not going to be able to make it and then you're going to study up, like I've had to do that a couple times before. I think, you know, sometimes I just got other stuff to do or I'm sick, whatever. So I feel like if you just give them in advance and you read the slides, like, it's cool. But I think if you're just like skipping, not telling, it's a different story.
Yeah, well, Braden, I would agree with Russell. I think the one thing I would say is there's a difference between skipping class and having a reason to skip class. Because if you're skipping class just because you don't want to go, that's kind of invalid. But if you have a legitimate reason, like you're sick or there's a family issue or whatever, then of course it would be okay to skip.
All right. Now, this is relating to universities. Now they get to choose and create their own schedules, whereas we are just given them. Do you think we should be able to make our own schedules?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I think my cousin's in university and she makes her own schedule. She loves it. I think I kind of like this. I've never really had too big of an issue with the schedules, except for maybe like the 8 a.m. Monday class. But other than that, I think the schedules are pretty well made. We got no 8 a.m. this semester. True. I think most of our professors usually go out. Like I think it's Matt makes a schedule or whatever. I think they're pretty good at like making a pretty solid schedule. No 8 a.m.s on Monday, so I can't really complain too much.
Aaron?
Yeah, I would agree with Russell. I'm extremely indecisive. Like, I have trouble figuring out what type of way I want to make my eggs in the morning. So I think I would not have a good time choosing my courses. So I like having it being made for me.
Do campus sports contribute to the campus lifestyle?
I'd say 100%. I mean, I think having a sports team is a sense of community. I think it brings people together. And just going there, it's a good vibe, especially like we just had the Final Four not too long ago. Big crowds, both the stands were like opened up, and there's just a lot of fans there, you know. And the stands can be loud too. Like it's like made of metal, so they'll kick it, and it gets like super loud, and it's really hype. I love it. I think the atmosphere is great, so I would say yes.
Yeah, I would also agree with Russell on this. I mean, I just think the live sports atmosphere in general is something that you don't want to miss out on in your college experience for sure.
Now, how important is class rep? Because I know that the first years this year made a pretty big election out of it.
Oh, really? What happened?
They had a whole election, like
Oh,
a
really?
whole
Wow.
thing.
Oh,
Yes,
like a whole
they
thing.
even had. I think
Wow.
they had campaigns too.
I mean, I think if you have issues with the program, it's good to have. I've never really had an issue. I've never really gone for formal complaints, so I can't really say if it's like something for me. I've never really been in a position where I had an issue that I wanted to bring up, so it's kind of hard for me to say. But I think for people who do have issues, I think it is pretty useful.
Aaron?
Yeah, I think Russell covered it all there. I got nothing else to say.
You ate it all up. All right, now, this last part here, I'm going to ask you yes or no questions, and that is all I want you to answer with, yes or no. These are meant to be rapid fire. Now, all right, you ready?
Yep.
Now, should you join a club to make more friends?
No.
Yes.
Should you live in residence on your first year?
Yes.
No.
No. Should you go immediately into college after high school?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Are online classes more productive than in person?
No, not at all.
Do you stay up late and pull all-nighters to complete projects?
Yes.
No.
Is networking overwhelming?
No.
I don't know what networking is.
Like we, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Now you remember first year in our very first class with Dan, or it might have been
How
somewhere.
could I forget?
We had to buy a textbook. Did you guys buy that textbook?
I got scammed.
And that is all of the rapid fire questions we have. Now, gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for coming on to the show here with me today.
Thanks for having us, Braid.
Guys, this has been Russell Silverson and Aaron Rama, and this has been Unpopular Opinions. Thank you for coming out to thank you for coming out here to From Here to There. We've been over there, and now we're here. I was expecting this to be a little longer. I didn't write as many questions.
Maybe we should ask you the questions now, Braden.
Ask away, Russell.
What do you think about the residence lifestyles, Braden?
Well, I had a terrible roommate the first year here, so I actually think it's completely overhyped. I think it's too expensive. Oh, now we're leaving, folks.